Yeah, so hello everyone. I am Jill Pribble and I'm coming to you from Uganda, which is where I live. I am a dance advocate. I've been a dance professor. I've been a dance teacher, a performer, a choreographer. I've run the gamut of specialties in dance. Right now, I'm also a dance researcher. I'm completing my PhD in dance studies at the University of Cape Town. So I first came to Uganda in 2002 as a Fulbright scholar. And during that time at Makerere University, we had our first class of dance graduates, which consisted of 8 young men on government scholarship. And I remember several of them thinking, oh my goodness, how did I ever get this course in dance? Let me see if I can transfer to law. But funny enough, the person who desperately wanted to transfer into law has received his PhD from the University of Auckland in dance, has a master's from New York University in dance, has now published many, many papers and even a book on teaching dance. So what's the moral of my story is that if you have definitely a passion for dance, you will find a way to make dance part of your life and even as a profession. I know as I'm doing research as a dance researcher right now, I'm finding, looking at different articles from different people in various African countries, the general consensus is, why would you study dance when everyone can basically dance? So why would you study dance? Because dance is within a subject of study. So just like music education is a subject of study, dance education in many parts of the world is a subject of study. Why would you study dance education, for example, and how could you make a living doing that? Well, I have to say that dance in Uganda, especially today, is a growing industry. We have music videos where dancers are used. We've had dance competitions where people have won prize money for being the best dancers. We have dance in schools. We have many, many international schools right now. And those international schools will have many times either dance as a subject within the school, inside the curriculum, or dance as an extracurricular activity. So why would you study dance education? Because this idea that everyone can dance, okay, is true. I would prove that to be wrong with some of my students at Makerere, but anyway, not everyone has that natural ability which we think everyone does. It's just not exactly true. But if you are going to be teaching dance, I call it in Uganda the Boda Boda lesson plan, where you're on the Boda Boda going to your extracurricular activity thinking, what am I going to teach? You get off the Boda Boda and you go and you teach what you already know. And you keep teaching the same lesson plan over and over, and you don't see how you can expand that lesson plan. Maybe you yourself are an amazing dancer, but to be able to teach dance, engage children, know about the developmental stages of children, mentally as well as physically, to be able to scaffold or make your lessons so that they progress and they get harder and they keep challenging people. All of these skills are needed in order to be an excellent teacher. Just like if you're teaching English, or you're teaching music, or you're teaching economics, or you're teaching business, you need to be able to teach so that the child grows and expands their knowledge and keeps building on to previous knowledge. Dance can also be used as an augment to other subject areas. So to get children to up and moving, to experience a mathematics lesson plan with dancers, with children. So they learn how to add and subtract with physical bodies is also one way that dance can be used in the field of education beyond just the dancing. So you can cross the curriculums and be able to really teach children on a physical level as well as a mental level. Also increases critical thinking, so you get children to solve creative problems. Now, I know that in Uganda, There's something that is called education, and there's something that's called creative problem solving. So in education, you cram and you learn your material and you give it back as in the examination. But in creative thinking, you solve your own problem. Ugandans are very good at creative thinking because I see you all the time being able to solve problems. If this doesn't work, you figure it out. If you don't have any toys, you make yourself some toys. You come up with games. But that somehow doesn't equate with education. So how can we take that creative thinking, which is what you need in the 21st century, which is what you need in a globalized society? How do you take that critical thinking and inject it into our curriculum for children so that learning becomes fun and learning is not just about cramming and stress? So I think dance is one way to do that. When we are making a dance education program, certificate program at the University of Kasubi, which we're in the final stages of getting to the Ministry of Education for approval. And when we asked people in the community, well, what kind of training do we need? And we got that information. We had a Zoom meeting, and we've decided that now there's so many things you need in addition to just being able to dance. Like, how do you keep yourself healthy? What is anatomy and physiology? What do you need to strengthen your muscles? How do you condition your body as a dancer? So that was really important. Also, how do you analyze movement so that you can better teach someone who isn't understanding movement? How do you break it down? How do you give choreographic problems so that children can solve and come up with creative ideas? So we're building a dance education program so that we give Ugandans the skills to be really successful in this area of dance. And I hope that because if you have a passion for dance, you will dance. Also, research has shown that if you have a passion, you will probably end up teaching at some point, because that's one way that dancers make a living. Even if you are a performer and you're touring the world, most dance companies will also teach master classes. So having a background in teaching and a solid way to lesson plan, to class manage, to be able to build a rapport and relationship with students, to be able to know their developmental stages and how to appropriately give movement that they can understand, yet keep challenging them. All of those skills are really important to be a good dance instructor. So we're hoping with this program that we'll be able to give people the skills to grow as both dancers and teachers. So back to my idea of, can you make dance a career? Yes, you can. And in our program, we'll also be doing community arts development as a course. So how do you engage the community? How do you promote good social messages through theater and dance? All of these aspects. So you can be in community development and NGOs. You can do leadership workshops with this background. You can teach in extracurricular activities. You can be an actual dance teacher within the school curriculum. You can become an arts management person or someone who makes programming. I mean, there are people that coordinate and design dance festivals. There are people that are lighting designers. There are house managers for the theater that sell the tickets and make sure that everything is functioning within the theater. So there's so many aspects of dance and arts, basically a career in arts that has the potential, really. And I think now it's a crucial time, as I said, in Uganda, because dance is very much a growing industry. We need to empower our dancers so they make sure that They demand respect, because I think dance is kind of probably the lowest in terms of respectability in the arts section of Uganda. So if you're asked to dance for a music video, you need to say, this is my worth, this is my education, this is what I deserve to be paid, instead of being one of the arts that is less than the other art forms. Because I think as a dancer, we are musically attuned, our bodies are in tip-top condition, we're learning movement within our bodies and thinking, we're working with other people. In our program especially, we have a section that will be collaborating with students from New York University, so you'll co-teach in an international area, so you'll be working with people from New York, in Uganda. So I do think at the end of the day, like if you study dance and you really embrace it, you'll find a way to make a living, and secondly, you will really enrich your life. Whether or not you become a lawyer, you decide to do that and dance on the side, you will absolutely enrich your life and be a better person for it.